Welcome, Hudson Valley. This is Conor Walsh, host of In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. This week on In Touch, we speak with Warwick Cares. Warwick Cares is a community project comprised of volunteer individuals, groups, and local organizations who want to help save lives by addressing mental health and suicide prevention within their communities. We speak about their upcoming mental health awareness celebration on Saturday, May 4th, along with their Starfish Socials and other programs. We invite you to join us and listen to a previously recorded conversation between Hannah, Judy, and myself here on In Touch. Hello, Hudson Valley. You're listening to another episode of In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. And we got a great episode for you guys today, one of hope, help, and healing. This is going to be a really great one, and just ahead of Mental Health Awareness Month, I'm really happy to be talking with this organization today. They've been doing great work, and we've had them on the calendar for a while, so this is going to be terrific. With us today, we got Hannah and Judy with Warwick Cares. They're promoting mental health awareness and suicide prevention. Perfect in time for Mental Health Awareness Month this May, and they got a number of really cool initiatives going on, so I can't wait to get into this episode. Hannah, Judy, how are you guys today?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right. What exactly is Warwick Cares to somebody who is uninitiated with you guys?
So hello, this is Judy. Thank you again, Conor, for having us.
Absolutely.
And Hannah, my little partner here for this initiative. So Warwick Cares is exactly as it implies. And it's an initiative, and it's a local initiative that concentrates on mental health awareness, suicide prevention. So the initiatives are in threefold: creating the awareness so that people can understand, what is mental health? What is the difference between a mental health and mental health conditions? So it's education, it's part of it. And we do that through signage, and it came about, and why we do the signs, because in suicide prevention or mental health, we need to know what those signs are. So one of the things that we wanted to do was to create physical signs to kind of point in that direction. So that is really one of the first tier for the Warwick Cares signage. And how do we do that in the community? And so we kind of figured out a way to kind of do it, is to actually create real signs that's out there in the community in creative ways, but not just signage that are, canned signs, because we see that, there's resources. Our target audience are those that are struggling, those that are going through, whether it's a crisis or just having a bad day. So we want to make signage for that are coming from the community, and we call it Messages of Hope. So that's one of the first tiers of Warwick Cares, Messages of Hope, creating the signage. And the second tier is also education training. Bring in training or presentations that can educate the community at large. This is for everyone at large, so they can learn what are the signs, because most of the time is those that are either going through mental health crises or any kind of suicide ideation. Who are their first points of contacts? They may not necessarily go to a professional right away. So what are the signs to look for as a caretaker, as someone who's in crisis? What are the signs to look for them to kind of connect? Who do they connect to? So that's Suicide Prevention and Mental Health Awareness 101 that we try to bring to the community in a very simple format. And then the third part is peer support. Peer support is important because you want to put a face to this. We live here in this community. We were raised here, and this community is small. It's a big, small town. A lot of us know one another and what probably have gone through. So putting a face behind a person that says, I care, is good. And so that's, what we try to, reach out to anybody that needs a reference to look for, someone to point them in the right direction, resource gathering, having that awareness. Not that we're putting ourselves into treatment or therapists or counselors in that professional level, but who do you point to? Who can we, how can we help you? We're creating a platform like you are, So that's really like the three important tiers of our initiatives. It sounds simple, but yet, of course, we know how complicated these issues are.
The reason why we stand on the subject of prevention is because we are survivors. Mm-hmm. We are trying to destigmatize the conversation because this is something that's affecting all of us. And all we can do is really just try and help our neighbors We held a few different focus groups within the community after I had lost somebody in January of 2023. That was my 5th loss here in Warwick. In my own age demographic, I'm 25. And we're just losing way too many people way too quickly, a lot of young people that I've grown up with. We started doing focus groups within the town, and we got the local businesses together, we got town officials, the mayor, supervisors, anybody who wanted to join in. We talked to the senior citizens, SILA, the youth coalition, and we all asked them, like, what can we do? How can we be there for you as a, what would that be?
An advocate?
Yeah,
Yes,
advocate,
an
which is what
advocate.
we are, So yes, we are survivors of suicide loss. And we're okay with speaking about this because that's, why we want this platform, just to say, hey, we can survive, you can too.
Yeah.
So Hannah and I both have our stories. Mostly everyone in our team, have their stories as survivors of either suicide loss or any other kind of loss, and on the prevention side. But definitely as advocates, first and foremost, that's, what we do. Creating that awareness. Honestly, it's not for lack of resources that a lot of, people are not able to get the resource and the help that we need. Is for lack of knowledge of where those resources are, or over knowledge, as I say. Like, who do I turn to? I mean, you go on Google, you Google this stuff, and like millions of things come up.
It can feel really isolating, but if you let in the right noise, you can find some beautiful harmonies and melodies out of it. And it's really cool. And you guys are making some really good quote unquote music in this case. And one great way that y'all are coming together to celebrate all that is the 2nd annual Mental Health Awareness Celebration that's happening Saturday, May 4th. I see here it's taking part at Railroad Green in Warwick, 12 to 4. You guys got speakers, performers, resources. Tell me what the first year was like and what you're hoping to do with it now for this year.
It's so funny to think about where we were last year compared to where we are right now. Last year, I mean, it was just me and Judy putting it all together, running around like chickens without our heads. And we had really beautiful team members come out of the woodwork, and they helped us out with fundraising, getting vendors. We found some other performers, some local performers. And yeah, a lot of signs, a lot of resources, and talking to the community.
I just wanted to make sure that we give credit to how it all came about. There's a history behind it. I'm a survivor of suicide loss for the past 16 years, come this April 26, when I lost my son to suicide here in this town. He was only 20. So I feel like, Warwick Cares was like, that's how it all started. It all started then, April 26, 2008, when I lost my son. And it's all part of, like, at least my healing journey. So that's how all of this came to be. And then as well as, Hannah's story. So in a way, the event was like a culmination of all of our stories put together into what can we do? Because that is the first thing as a survivor that you really go to. The question is always why? Like, why does this happen in any loss? Suicide compounds that question in a million ways. That, we sort of try to spend our healing journey trying to answer that. Everybody grieves differently. We all grieve differently. One of the ways that I grieve was to do something, or just like, no, I don't want another family going through this.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. It's horrific. Like, what did I miss? What are the signs that I miss? Hence, signs. So what are the signs that I miss? I need to let other people know. So that's how my journey came about. And I connected to all of these different ways, and advocacy and, a whole host of things that I needed to learn and how to help myself and try to help others, to look for those signs. So that was how that journey of how Warwick Cares came to be. And then Hannah's involvement in this, and then the others. So being on the suicide prevention side is where we want to be, as, Hannah said. And I've been on that other side of loss. I'm also involved in the AFSP Healing Conversations. So anyone that has lost to suicide, I coordinate the whole program for AFSP. Of anyone that's lost, we reach out to them. And so my own healing journey comes about going and ministering to anyone, families, and having support groups. And I'm like, you know what? I'm tired. I want to be more on the other side of infection before that happens.
Yeah.
And how does that happen? And I'm going to say that everything has, led up to the beginning of Warwick Cares. But when Hannah came to me with her recent loss back in January, that she lost a best friend.
Yes, we had lost somebody in January, but that wasn't even like the last person that we lost, as you know. And that wasn't the first one either. To be respectful of the family, I'm gonna not say the names here, but it affects my own family. Next to cancer, it's the leading cause of death in my family, suicide. And it's been a very sensitive topic for me, and I've struggled with it myself. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be completely transparent here. And when we had lost my friend at that moment, it was just for the both of us, like just the last straw. We just couldn't. I could barely walk, stand on my own 2 feet. And Judy was such an angel. She swooped right in and she helped me put together the vigil. We had the family come up and we had a really beautiful moment, but then Judy and I had spoken about it and we were just like, okay, we can't do this. We can't let this happen anymore. And Judy was so strong and she went to the town supervisor.
The town supervisor and the mayor.
Knock, hello.
I was like, we need to have a meeting, because this is something that obviously has been swirling in my head a long time. Like, where are the signs as you're driving through the Hudson Valley? Where are the signs? Speaking of signs, like, where are they? I mean, we see them on the bridges, we see them everywhere. And I'm like, we need to have more on this prevention side. So yes, that definitely affected me. It's like, no, we need to do this and we need to do this now. We need to do this like yesterday.
Yes. Yeah.
And I knocked on their door, and this was really nothing new for them. I have sent them emails before, so I know that they were going to be open and receptive to this, and the timing was right to, with the new 988 number.
Yes.
As we had, previously discussed with them, they were receptive. They know me, they know my story, and I just went into their office and I said, and I came with like a 6-page proposal of how we can get these signs, made it out to be really simple.
Yep.
But of course, and I said, I need your support. I need your help. I need your backing. We all need this backing. We need to have some kind of signage out there. I personally was also looking for signage of the place that my son passed away. And so that was important for me.
Yeah.
And, the signage of there's resources, there's help. And anyone that is going through not only suicide ideation, suicidal thoughts, but they're having a mental health breakdown of their conditions or substance use. So those are the 3 things that this new number, resource number 988, can help you with.
Yeah.
So it's different than dialing 911. And we're lucky in Orange County that we also have our local number, which is 311, which all works together up here. So 988, 311, 911, all works together up here to try to mitigate that. But 988 is very special because you can talk to them. You can, you don't have to be in a crisis. You could be, having a very bad day, or you're a caretaker and you need information. So, towards, helping all of the above. And I'm so grateful that we have that. So I wanted Warwick town to put up these signs, thinking globally and let's act local here.
Yeah.
And so that was my proposal to them. And I said, I'm done. I do not want to hear another suicide from anyone in my town or any other, friends and loved ones going through this. What can we do? Because if you don't help me, I'll just go out there and put my own sign. But I think it's best if you can.
It's one of those things where it's like you are looking for the signs. You are trying to make sense of everything that's going on. And the fact that you guys are putting out physical signs is just so wonderful. I don't know. When I see something like that, my day just like brightens. Like it's the little things. I was just smiling in my car like a silly person, like a fool. It was like, oh, that's so neat. So like it's what
we want. We want that reaction.
Exactly. And you're doing it. And I love it. And I'm so excited about it. Again, you're listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. We're speaking with Hannah and Judy with Warwick Cares. We've been talking about Mental Health Awareness Month, talking about their second annual Mental Health Awareness Celebration happening Saturday, May 4th. A lot of great things happening about that. But then we've also been talking about the history that is going into things, the personal connections, and the things that have really led to this. And I'm really happy to be talking about this. In our final moments, I really want to also talk about your Starfish Socials that you guys do. Hannah, you were telling me about the Starfish a while back, and I love the story. I love the analogy. I just think it is so cool. And we were talking about it before you guys had your first Starfish Social, so now I'm really excited to hear how it went. But what is the Starfish?
So we actually have the Starfish poem here. It's so beautiful.
Yes, please.
And if you wanted to watch, we also have a video up on YouTube. If you want to look up the Warwick Cares Starfish PSA.
I remember someone coming up to me telling me, I don't know how you can help everybody. I was on the internet one day and I came across this tale of the starfish, which really helped me understand my role in this outreach. It's the tale of the starfish. It all started when a young girl was walking along a beach upon which thousands of starfish had been washed up during a terrible storm. When she came to each starfish, she would pick it up and throw it back into the ocean when a man approached her and said, "Little girl, look at this beach. You can't save all of these starfish. You can't begin to make a difference." The girl seemed crushed, but after a few moments, she bent down, picked up another starfish, and hurled it as far as she could into the ocean. Then she looked up at the man and replied, "I made a difference for that one." The old man looked at the girl and thought about what she had said. Inspired, he joined the little girl in throwing starfish back into the sea. Soon others joined, and all the starfish were saved. We can't possibly save everyone, but it'll make a difference for that one starfish, for that one person. If you or anyone you know is in crises, call 988. There is help, there is hope, there is healing. That is the premise of the signs, and those beautiful, hopeful signs that make you giddy as you were driving today.
Yes.
And that is to reach anyone that needs to hear that message. And one of the amazing signs, and let me tell you, she did an incredible job.
Thank you.
The signs of the community, and just when you see some of them, you're gonna just like, wow, that is really beautiful because they're so simple but effective. And even just a heart with the word hope in it, can go a long way. Because as you said, anyone that is going through any type of crises or, you're not thinking rationally in those moments, you're looking for something to hang on to. What can I hang on to that'll help me hang on and get through this day or this crisis? And that's what people look for. And that's what it's intended to be for anyone. So even if they're driving through or walking by, the word hope. The other sign is, yes, you are loved. All of those things may seem corny to a person walking down the street, like, why? But that's what it is. So it's not intended for marketing. It's not intended for, all of the other purposes. It's intended for maybe that one person, that one starfish that we need to throw back into the ocean that day.
Yes. It's marketing altruism. That's what it is. You're marketing altruism. Yes. Again, you guys do so many great things with training, with education, with community. What is the best way for people to stay in touch with what's going on? Where can people find you on social media? Where can they find you online? How can they get involved?
For those who want to get involved, the best thing to do is just hit us up on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram. And between those two, you can also find our Linktree that has not only our own resources, but the resources that come from AFSP.
Yeah, from AFSP and all the organizations. So there are resources there, which is a little bit more condensed than just people Google to make it local specific.
And we upload videos and pictures and update people on our next trainings, our next events, which leads me into the Starfish Social. Mm-hmm. When Judy and I had first gotten together and we were trying to think of what can we do for the town, a lot of those moments are introspective. So what helped me when I was struggling? For me, it was Tuscan Cafe. So in 2014 to 2016, we had a music scene here in Warwick. And there were a lot of great open mics. Even if they weren't in Warwick, we would travel to Monroe at the AOH. And we had so much fun. It was such a great community effort. That started to fizzle out even before the pandemic. So when I had come back to Indiana after those 2 years, because I was out there, I noticed that there were no open mics anymore. There was nothing in this town for people to do anything that was creative, especially for my own demographic. There was a bunch of stuff for the young teenagers. It's really beautiful. We have the community center. They have DIY punk shows. They're great. I love to see the youth excelling in like what we used to do, doing their little baby moshing and stuff like that. But I was like, what can we do? Yeah. I feel a little out here, I'm like someone who's just also just musically inclined. I mean, we wanted to do something that was creative for the community where we can be social and sober. And because there was nothing for us that was something to do that was sober, and I don't drink. The Starfish Social is an introduction of us, our demographic, or just people in the community, any age, any background, coming together, having a talk, just having fun and sharing what you want to share. So it's kind of like, instead of an open mic, we're calling it a talent spotlight. Okay. So people from all over the community, they come together and they share what makes them them. What makes them different? What can they bring to the table for all of us to enjoy? And that looked, when we got it together, we had a really great turnout and we didn't know what it was going to look like. It was really exciting. Yeah. We just wanted people to come together. So it ended up looking like people sharing their poetry, people sharing rap music, their beautiful songs. And one woman was so kind enough to share a diary entry. Oh, wow. I mean, to be that vulnerable. And these people were brand new to the community. They had just moved here from the city. So it was great to introduce them to other people and create that network, because that's what we're trying to do is really cement that unity within the community. Yeah. So,
and the starfish is of regeneration. It's a symbol of renewal. I mean, they actually grow a limb if they lose one. So it's just all makes sense how, for us doing this mental health awareness, and that Starfish Social will fall under that peer support tier that attracted all ages. I mean, we had children there.
Yeah, we had children.
We had arts and crafts, we had kids. Nice. It was just really sweet. And the community, I feel, needs that option. So yes, we have a village behind us. And yes, we are out in the trenches doing all the work. And yes, we're going to create more and grow.
But you guys are doing it very well. You're doing it very gracefully. And it's a great mission that you guys have, honestly. I think it's phenomenal. And of course, all the links that both Judy and Hannah were talking about, that will be in the description of this episode. So we'll have everything together for you. So we'll make sure that you have all those links. You can check out everything and you can stay involved. Of course, as we said already with the second annual Mental Health Awareness Celebration, they do need some volunteers. So if you want to get involved with that, hit them up on social media.
The May 4th event speakers are incredible this year. We have a veteran speaker, Alexander Stewart, will be here. Active duty, wrote a book. He's an author and will share his, PTSD story. We're having people from the community speak, different organizations that have, that are new. NAMI will be there. The Crisis Line representatives will be here, which is for Access for Living. They cover the 311 and, get calls from 988. They're going to explain the differences. We have the performers, our very own Hannah Rose, my goodness. And, Daniel Villegas, who's a poet and a musician. We're going to have children are going to be involved as well. There's going to be a Taekwondo demo presentation of the children. And I just want to say something really quickly about these signs this year. It's amazing. We're just so incredibly touched by the fact that, young and old are participating. We have the schools involved, the middle school was involved, and they send in, more than 30 signs. The St. Anthony's Community Hospital staff was involved, and they created messages. So these messages are from the community themselves that they created so that others can, see their message. We're going to have signs galore all over. So,
so other dates that we have lined up for you, just to give you bullet. Yeah. We have May 4th
Yes,
May 4th?
we have May 4th and then May 4th, because it's May Mental Health Month, so we have training there. We're going to take advantage of the fact that it's Mental Health Month. And so to follow up on our big event, we're going to have information on the training and presentations we're going to do within the community. We have May 14th and 15th. We're going to do youth mental health first aid training. May 20th and 21st, we're going to do a Talk Saves Lives, which is a basic 101 presentation of the signs to look for. Bringing in new trainings as well, like the next level up. June, and then we're also going to be doing tabling events June 8th and June 9th. June 8th will be a health fair again. We're going to have tabling and collaborate with other organizations. June 9th is Pride. We always come to, these events just to support. And throughout the summer, we'll be having more presentations and little smaller events. And the Starfish Social is going to be May 17th.
Yeah.
So May is going to be packed for us.
Our next two Starfish Socials, like Judy said, it's going to be May 17th and then my birthday, July 27th.
Hey.
Because that's how my birthday this year is, with the community and doing outreach. That's what I want. That's my birthday present because I'm selfish.
And she wants that. No, she's not.
That does not sound selfish.
You can come out of the cake.
I'm going to come out of the cake.
She's going to come out of the cake with a banner. It's like, I love you.
I love that. I love that.
And all of that will lead up to our September, which is Suicide Prevention Month. So,
Yes.
These two causes, May Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Month, it's right up our alley. And, we want to be able to utilize the fact that we have the national attention of celebrating these causes.
Oh, absolutely. No, it is something to celebrate and it is important. So I'm glad that you guys are doing it. No, this is terrific.
This is the last thing that I want to share, just as for my story, because I've already talked to you about my grief. We've already done that one-on-one with my Hannah Rose music, interview. As the person who was working on the designs for the committee and working with the community, putting these into my iPad and getting all the little nooks and crannies of the soul that comes into the writing, all the little quote unquote mistakes that makes our writing individual to all of us. I never thought in a million years that the signs would help me. Mm-hmm. I thought that to make them, I just thought, hey, you know what? This is going to be for that little girl who made this sign. This is going to be for that little boy. This is going to be for our beautiful senior citizens who had the heart to tell us, hey, let's talk. I thought that that's what it was going to be about. But when I had lost my boyfriend a few days after our first May mental health event, I think this is important to be transparent for anybody out there who is struggling and they think that I need to feed you. Anybody who's out there and who's struggling and they need those words of encouragement. Sometimes the messages that we create for the community turn around and they're made for ourselves. So exactly to the month later, a month after losing my boyfriend, I had felt like a failure. I felt I was doing for the community wasn't enough because how could I fail in my own household? And I had gotten out of the house. It was June 11th and it was Warwick Pride. So we were celebrating Pride. And my friend just happened to get his car towed that evening. So we had to go into town anyway to go and pick up the car. We get cut off by the parade. Okay. And all these kids are holding my signs. and they're going by, they're wearing the Warwick Cares t-shirts, they're holding the sign. I'm crying. And I'm like, you know what, I'll come back later. And when I walk to go and meet them, and we're walking down Memorial Park, it's a beautiful long stretch of road. My beautiful team had set up the signs walking into the park. So every 10 feet, I was getting that signs that I made. Breathe. Let's talk. Yeah. I'm here for you. Like you're loved. And I was like, wow, thanks, past Hannah. Thanks for I love you. Thank you for being there for me. So it was just, you never know where your ripple will lead. Yeah. You never know. Absolutely. And it's beautiful to see that ripple come full circle and to see that, even in our deepest of grief and our deepest of pain and troubles, we're still moving and we're still going forward. And that's all that we can do. And it's with your love, your help, and your grace that keeps us moving forward, that helps propel that ripple to other people that we probably wouldn't be able to reach without you. So thank you so much for listening to us and getting us through this.
Thank you for being part of our healing journey.
Yes.
As well.
Absolutely. Well, hey, thank you for sharing it. No, this is all great. This is a very important and meaningful episode. Thank you, both of you. This has been this week's edition of In Touch, the award-winning public affairs and issues program that runs across Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley radio stations. We want to give a big thank you to Judy and Hannah. For more information on Warwick Cares, you can use their Linktree, which can be found in the description of this episode. I've been your host, Conor Walsh. Until next time, stay curious, keep an open mind, and as always, I'm glad we get to spend some time